How you doing, folks? I love this little Mk2 Golf here, and I think it's a great car to drive, but it's bloody uncomfortable, and that's on account of the fact that there's an anatomical arch support in the driver's seat that I really don't like, and unfortunately there's no way of removing it like a switch on the side of the seat or anything like that. So I'm going to go and try and put that right. A mate of mine gave me a new driver's seat, well, a replacement driver's seat for the car that doesn't have the arch support in it. But the problem is the fact that it doesn't have the same fabric. Now, I've already got the seat halfway disassembled, as you can see here, and essentially what I want to do is I want to try and make one seat without the arch support out of the two. So that's going to require taking the other seat out. Taking the seat out of a Mk2 Golf is a very, very straightforward operation. Literally, it's one bolt that needs to be removed, and that's here down at the front of the seat. And you undo that, and that allows you to slide the seat all the way back off its runners. Now, the only thing you do have to do is you have to remove the plastic trim at the back before you do that. So you'll see here that there's two pieces of plastic trim that go over the seat runners. So you just take off the little plastic popper and you remove them, slide the seat back, and away you go. And then you can lift the seat out carefully, making sure you don't scratch the paint, obviously. Perfect opportunity for you to run the old J. Edgar over the floor there to sort out the dust bunnies that you can't get out when the seat's in. Okay, so we're going to start by separating the seat back from the base, okay? So it's actually not as complicated as you might be thinking, so don't worry too much. First of all, we need to take off this plastic cover. Now you'll see there's a little plastic peg there, and there's another one up here which needs to be pulled out in order to get the clip off. But what we're going to do first of all is we're actually going to just lift up the seat and just hinge the seatbelt down out of the way, the seatbelt buckle. So that's now out of our way, and you can see now with that seat, it's kind of awkward to get at the plastic plug, but I'm thinking what we could do is press them from the back. So I'm using a hook pick to get at the back. Oh, it actually came out without the centre being removed. Better again. Okay, so that's that up out of our way. Now you'll see there's a little spring-loaded bit there, as if it was actually a reclinable seat, but it's not. This is a 4-door car, a 5-door car. What we do need to do is we need to remove, there is a metal spring clip here. I'll just show you a bit closer. That little metal spring clip needs to be removed. So what we do is you just grab it with the pliers and pull it off. Okay. Now, so that's that off, and put it aside because we're going to need that, and that will allow that to come out. I'll do the other side as well. We'll get that done now. On this side, the side that doesn't have the knob on it, there is 3 of those little spuds that need to be removed. So we'll just get that other one out as well. Now on this side here that doesn't have the knob, you will see that there is a Phillips screw which needs to be removed. So we'll take that out there now. Okay. So now, last but not least, just pull that away. Same on the other side, and the back will lift off. Simple as. So now that we have the back separated from the base, if we turn the back of the seat over, you'll see 4 little metal tangs which are literally just bent over and stuck through the fabric. And it's just a case of really bending them till they're straight, or unbending them, I suppose you could say. Okay, so there's the 4 of them unbent, and it's just a case of just pulling the fabric off them, and then that allows that fabric to fold out, and we'll undo the bottom as well, the front part as well, and now we should be able to just pull the fabric up the seat. I'm going to just flip it over there now, and we'll have a look, and we'll see what's causing her, what is the source of the discomfort. I had the seat retrimmed a while back. Basically, when we bought the car, the bolster was ripped, and I was kindly donated a new seat back cover for the Golf, but it was first of all, it was for a 3-door car, so it had the catch on the side, and secondly, it wasn't fitted to the seat, so I needed to get it fitted. So I actually got an auto trimmer friend of mine to do it for me. And when he was doing it, he put in this foam as well, because I was complaining then that the seat was uncomfortable. Unfortunately, that hasn't really sorted out the problem for me in a sense. So I'm going to just peel this back a little bit. I have a funny feeling that this is actually the same construction of seat as the one I got off my friend, because it looks identical. So I'm not going to go too much further than this if I don't have to. Let's just flip it over and we'll have a look at the back now. Okay, so looking at the back, these are the wires that are inside it, which you can actually feel through the seat and are what are making it uncomfortable. Now I'm going to have a look at the other seat. You can see that the construction is identical. The only difference I can tell so far is that the tension on the springs might not be as strong. So maybe that's all the difference is. So like that, there's a lot of give in that there, right? So now I'm going to actually have a look at the seat, how much give is in this part here of the seat. Although there's not much difference there, to tell you the truth. But there, it's very tight. So I'm thinking, if I were to literally just slacken these springs a little bit by stretching them essentially, would that make the seat a little bit more soft in the middle? It's this bit here I want to remove basically, or just flatten out a little bit basically, so there's a bit more comfort in it. I have a cunning plan, and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do. This is the seat I was donated. These springs here and these springs here don't have as much tension on them. So what I am going to do is, I'm going to take these springs and these springs, and I'm going to swap them into that seat over there, and that should make it just that little bit more comfortable for me. So yeah, I think that'll work. The astute amongst you will notice I didn't actually take the two top ones in the end because there was really no difference in the tension between those ones and the other ones that were further down. So I took two of the larger ones off, which I'm going to stretch out slightly, and hopefully that will give help them have a little bit more give. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just replace these two top ones. Oh, there's some tension in them, like. Alright, so what I've done is I've actually, I took those two other springs and I just stretched them out slightly. So hopefully that will do the trick. So, just, ow, fuck yeah. See what I mean? There's a damnable tension on these things. There we go. Bloody hell. Like a feckin' trampoline spring. Where did the other two go? Here we are, here's one. Should go on a bit easier. Yes. And yes. They're a bit floppy, but they won't be like that when you're sitting in it. I might just cable tie them on though, or lock wire them on even, just so that they don't actually come adrift inside the seat. But straight away I think that should make all the difference in this. So let's I'll stick a bit of lock wire on them and we'll go from there. God knows where my roll of lock wire went. Cable ties will do fine. Apparently seagulls are an endangered species. Who'd have thunk it? They're all over the bloody place. But that's the reason why there's not a cull put on them, even though they're driving people mental. Especially in Dublin around the docks. I'm 30 miles inland here and they're coming inland so far here because apparently well, to be honest, it's true, the sea is being fished out of existence, so there's nothing left for them food wise. Made this problem for ourselves, folks. Now, well, they're not going to fall off anyway. Okay, so, right, I think that should make all the difference now. Yeah, there's a lot more give in that now. The give is about even actually all the way along, which is great. So now let's put it all back together and see how it is. Straight away that feels better. It's just even pressing on it there. And that padding that Philip put in for me when he did the seat will be a great job. Now, here we go. Now we'll put it back on the base. Okay, I'm going to sit into it now and see how it is. Yes. Oh, that is so much better. Definitely worth the effort. There's a little bit of support there, but it's not sticking into my back. It was like somebody had their knees in the back of my chair the whole time. That is so much nicer. And most of the support is at my shoulder blades, which is where I like it anyway. But that is fantastic. Right, I'm going to finish putting the seat back together, we'll get it reinstalled. there is one other issue I want to sort out with the car as well, and that is when you slide the seat back or forwards, you kind of have to jiggle it a bit to get it to lock, and it's just simply because of the fact that the I think there's probably a wear groove in where the front of the seat slides, and what's happening is the holes are not lining up. So let's just have a quick look and see if it's something simple to sort out. So this here is a plastic scraper, okay? It's made of nylon and it fits beautifully into that slot in there, okay? So now, because that fits so well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it to length, and I'm going to use it to space up the seat a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean in there first of all, so that when the seat is installed I can actually bond this into position, because otherwise it'll just slide out as soon as you go and move the seat. So yeah, I think that's a good enough solution. What do you think yourselves? Alright, so there we go. There's the piece of the scraper trimmed down just to fit in there. So that should do the trick. Just get the carpet back into position. Not sure if that's supposed to be over there. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be like that. Yeah, that's right there. Okay, now let's reinstall the seat. When you're putting it back in, the first thing you need to do is line up your rear feet and get them roughly into position. Okay, so now that, as I said, is roughly into position. So now we can come to the front and we can just get this hooks into the little slot there, okay? See, the seat even needs a little bit more height than that to actually click up. You see the way I have to pick up the front in order to get it to lock? It's better, definitely, but it's still not perfect. So maybe the two scrapers stuck together. Let me just try the other part of the scraper. It might be a bit thicker. Okay, so here's the other piece of the scraper. So we'll just pop that in there. Obviously, it's going to need to, as I said, be bonded into place. It's come off the runners at the back there, so we just have to line them up now. Oh, by the way, if you find that your Mk2 Golf seat rattles when you're driving, it's because the let's see, it's simply because of the fact that you're missing your anti-rattle clips on the rear runners. Definitely better. I think we'll live with that, to be honest with you. It's definitely an improvement, and the nylon will actually help the seat slide as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that out, I'm going to bond that into position, and we're going to call that a win. Okay, so that's bonded in there now. So come on, there we are. Just push that down into position, and yeah, I think that's pretty good there now. Yeah, it'll do the trick. Right, next thing I'm going to do is just put that bolt in the front and we put a piece of trim on. Nice one. That modification has transformed this car. Oh, that is so much better. That has been driving me mental for so long. I mean, I was driving it today and I was like, right, enough is enough. I'm coming home today and I'm doing it because I can be dealing with it no more. And it was a simple enough thing to do. Like, okay, the arch support isn't completely gone. It just doesn't feel like there's somebody with their knee in my back anymore. And it took me, what, half an hour, 45 minutes maybe? So definitely a big victory here for me. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. So look, thanks very much for watching, folks. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll chat to you in a future video. Talk to you soon.